Hi, how are you? How you doing, everyone? Back to trigonometric and verifying trigonometric identities. Then we're gonna verify part one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, let us start, guys. Let's see what we have. Let us back to the problem we cut off. Now this here. This is a problem. We said here, if you remember. Hi everyone, how are you? Let us back to this one and just finish it. Secant square theta minus 1 times cosine square theta. Okay, now remember that tan square theta plus 1 equals secant square theta, which is mean tan square theta equals secant square theta minus 1. Let me just bring the board. Tan square theta plus 1, you see the right side of the board, equals secant square theta. If you move the one from this side to that side, tan square theta becomes secant square theta minus 1. How this is going to help me here? Secant square theta minus 1 becomes what? Tan square theta, and leave cosine square theta here. Also, how this is going to help me? Help me that tan square theta equal sine square theta over cosine square theta, because tan is sine over cosine. Now if you do this, if you change this tan square to be sine square over cosine square will cancel with cosine square, then we have sine square, and sine square equal to sine square. Okay. Another example. We need to prove that cosecant theta minus cosine theta cotan theta equals sine theta. Then we need to leave this side alone, and we're going to work on this side. Something you have to remember, that cosecant theta, before we start, cosecant theta equal 1 over sine theta, cotan theta equal cosine over sine. Now just change these things here. Sine, cosecant is what? Cosecant theta is 1 over sine theta minus cosine theta, and cotan theta is cosine theta over sine theta. Okay. Who can follow me here? 1 over sine theta minus cosine square theta. Why cosine square theta? I need an answer from you guys. Cosine times cosine is cosine square. 1 minus cosine square. Who remember what 1 minus cosine square equal? Here in the side, 1 minus cosine square theta. Let me move this example a little bit down. Okay, since I have the same denominator, which is sine theta, in the top I have 1 minus cosine square theta. And you remember from before, 1 minus cosine square theta is sine square theta, right? Then we can take all 1 minus cosine square and make it what? Sine square theta over sine theta. Also, I'm going to redo this today, and I'm going to do this all the time. Just to this is the same as sine theta square over sine theta, and this is cancel with this, end up sine theta. That's what he wants. That's what or she wants us to prove. Wow. Okay. Now I have this one, secant theta over sine theta minus sine theta over cosine theta equal cotan theta. I need to prove this. I need to prove this guy. Okay. On the bottom, sine theta. In the top, 1 over cosine theta minus sine theta over cosine theta. What I did, the first step, as I told you before, anything you have to bring it back to the form of sine and cosine. Here secant theta equal 1 over cosine. Okay, bring this denominator and this denominator. We can have one denominator, okay, and here another denominator, and in the middle minus, and here cosine theta, and here cosine theta, and sine theta. You see, you bring this guy down, and here one. Since I have cosine theta, let me just fix my cosine. I don't know why my cosine is so weird. Cosine theta. Now here cosine theta, because we need sine theta, right? And here one, we need sine theta to have the same denominator. Multiply sine theta, multiply sine theta. Already we have existing sine theta, right? From here, which is sine theta. Then sine theta, we multiply the denominator and the numerator. Now we have one guy, which is cosine theta, sine theta in the denominator. In the top, 1 minus sine square. What 1 minus sine square, guys? What 1 minus sine square? 1. What 1 minus sine square theta is cosine square theta, right? 1 minus sine square is cosine square theta. Then here, this equal cosine square theta over cosine theta, sine theta. This cancel, left cosine theta. Because cosine square and cosine, right? This cosine square and sine, cosine square and cosine. Now we have left cosine over, and everyone know what cosine theta over sine theta. With this equal to cotan theta. Okay, that's good. Now let us go to another problem. Different idea. Let us go to different ideas in our verifying. Verifying is solving the problem. Verifying is solving the problem. I have an idea here, a new one. We have this identity, cosine theta over one plus sine theta plus tan theta, and he wants to prove this to be secant theta. He wants the left side to be secant theta. Now here's the new idea, the one I'm going to tell you about it. In this case, in the denominator we have 1 plus sine. When we have 1 plus sine, when we have 1 plus cosine, 1 minus sine, 1 minus cosine, we multiply by the conjugate. We multiply by what? We multiply by what? Multiply by the conjugate. Multiply by the conjugate. What's the conjugate? Yes, I'm going to show you some conjugates. I'm going to show you some conjugates. Look here. 1 plus sine, 1 minus sine, 1 plus cosine, 1 minus cosine. What my conjugate? My conjugate. In the blue. Conjugate. 1 minus sine, 1 plus sine, 1 minus cosine, 1. What's funny with this? If you multiply this by this, look, what's funny here? Okay. Why I'm doing this? Look, what's funny here, when you multiply this by this A plus B and A minus B. I'm gonna put this in the side here. A minus B and A plus B, it's A square minus B square. You have to understand, guys, when I'm teach or solve problem, my objective is not only solve, it's give you skills. You see A minus B times A plus B, A square minus B square. 1 plus, this give you what? Look what's good with this thing. This give you 1 minus sine square theta. Which is what? Cosine square theta. Wow. This one, the same, this 1 minus sine square theta. And either you have plus or minus equal cosine square theta. Guess about this one. 1 plus cosine. Guess, guys, here. 1 minus cosine square theta. The same thing. 1 minus cosine square theta. One minus what? Cosine. And 1 minus cosine square theta, which is sine square theta. Yeah, I mean, this is the conjugate I'm going to use all the way in any verifying. Okay, back to here. Then multiply by the conjugate. What's my conjugate here? What my conjugate? Let me use green. 1 minus sine theta. 1 minus sine theta. And then my conjugate will end up in the bottom. If you look to this case, 1 plus sine, 1 minus sine, 1 minus sine square theta equal cosine square theta. Then 1 minus sine, 1 plus cosine is here, and this equal to a cosine square theta. Then I'm going to write here cosine square theta, and the top cosine theta. The plus tan theta is what? Sine theta over what? Cosine theta. This guy, the tan theta. The tan theta equals sine over cosine. Right? And here, what I have in green, 1 minus sine theta. Sorry. Let me make it a little smaller and move this line. Okay, and this is the green I'm going to use. And here what we have, 1 minus sine theta. Why? Come on. I'm not, sorry. 1 minus, I should close the parentheses after I finish. Now, this cancels with this, because cosine square. What left? 1 minus sine theta. And what? We have cosine theta now. We have the same what? Denominator. Cosine theta, because we cancel the square. plus sine theta. Wow! This cancels with what? With that. Plus sine theta, y minus plus. Then 1 over cosine theta, which is what? Secant theta. What is what he wants, or what she wants, which is here. You see this guy is the same as this guy. Do we have time to do more problem? I don't know if we have time to do more problem. Let me do just one more quick. Just more practice, more understanding. Let me do one. Next time I'm gonna start do some hard ones. But for today, I'm gonna do something not hard. Okay, let me just give an easy, end it with an easy example. Example 1 plus cosine x. Look here, we have single term in the denominator, and he wants me to prove or to verify that equal to cosecant x plus cotan x. Look how easy. This I have single denominator, 1 over sine x plus cosine x over sine x. Everyone together. What 1 over sine? Cosecant. What cosine over sine? Cotangent x. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Guys, thank you for having me today. Be safe and have a nice day.